footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements. I don't want anyone throwing them, putting in the air and taking in the air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect when I show up. Okay, so I don't football. So goddamn hard when I hold on to them.
Introducing Mike Cash Collins and Scott Stack Simpson as the Fantasy Millionaires.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. When your hopes are so high, when you're getting your guys and you're filled with good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. 'Tis the season, and I mean 'tis the season. I just got done with the draft an hour ago, 2 over the weekend, 1 tomorrow. Scotty Stacks, how many of them drafts you got left?
I believe I have 2 drafts left because I had to drop out of several leagues because one of our boys is getting married and he's taking up 3 fucking days of fantasy drafting. So I got one more this Tuesday with you. And then I think I've got one more after that, and that's it. Unfortunately, man, the draft season is slowing to a trickle after I've been doing it nonstop for weeks. So it's a terrible time. I mean,
and then we got our wives draft too, which we know we'll both be involved in. So we got 3 more drafts. I got 3 more as well.
I'm just gonna say normally the draft consists of my wife using football guys, which I love. And then me going, I wouldn't do that pick. And then her going, well, I'm going to go with football guys. And then her picking the football guys pick and then ending up being better than mine. So you know what? I mean, you live and you learn. This year I use football guys for my draft. And so I can't wait to win the championship. And then I can really just say, listen, I've never used football guys until now. And now I'm winning the championship. So it's going to be pretty cut and dry, in your face, have a taste with football guys. So I'm excited. How about you? You happy with your drafts?
The BFF's drafts is my favorite one so far. I mean,
that's a really good one.
I do not know how I got Devante Adams, Calvin Ridley, and AJ Brown with my first 3 picks. I don't understand.
It's drafting in the middle. It's the middle strategy. It's my favorite. It just makes me so sad to see that team because it could have been me. It could be my players. You know.
So I agree. It was definitely the benefit of being in the middle, but AJ Brown, I thought I was going to be deciding on him with my second pick. You know, I thought middle of the second round I was going to have to decide between him and like DeAndre Hopkins or something like that, and no, I got Calvin Ridley.
Oh my gosh, my number 2 wide receiver, by the way. I have him ranked ahead of Devante Adams. It goes Stephon Diggs for me, number 2, Calvin Ridley, number 3, Devante Adams. So you have 2 of my top 3. I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is why I had to take a running back at 12. I took Najee Harris. I was a 12 pick in this draft, the BFF's draft. Mike was number 6. I went Stephon Diggs, Najee Harris, because I couldn't wait 24 picks for another running back. I don't know what's going to happen in those 24 picks. So I had to play it safe and kind of reach forward a little bit for running back, whereas you let all those good wide receivers just fall to you, like the trickle down wide receiver theory, man. I'm jelly, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I'm jelly.
I got Gus Edwards in the 6th. As long as we're gonna roster bait a little bit, that was, I don't know, that was pretty crucial.
That was mean. That was just mean.
Yeah,
what it was.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get 250 points. So
yeah, well, it's okay because Damian Harris isn't gonna do anything for you. You know, I mean, he doesn't have that backfield on lockdown or anything. You know what I'm saying? So you're in big trouble, mister.
I like that draft the best. And then the one we did on Sunday,
the Crab Cake Invitational.
Yeah, Crab Cakes was I don't know. It was like one of those ones where I didn't hate it and I didn't love it, and then I just got done with one where I hated it. Yeah, I have Mike Davis as my RB2. I don't like that.
Dude, so you can quit that league immediately.
Yeah. Well,
if you got Mike Davis as your RB2, you're not going to win. I'm so sorry.
I have Derrick Henry as my RB1, so
I might make up for it. Okay, that's
I have Calvin Ridley on that team too. I got Calvin Ridley and your boy CD's TDs.
Oh,
So
well, you know, I love me some Calvin Ridley. My wide receivers in the BFFs aren't too bad either because I've got Stephon Diggs, CD's TDs, our guy CD Lamb, and then Allen Robinson. So your wide receivers, I'm gonna tell you, you're a little bit better. You're a little bit better because you got Calvin Ridley in there. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You might have 3 top 5 wide receivers this year, which is just nuts. I might have 3 top 10, but I don't think I'll have 3 top 5. So I like it.
Well,
but
let me say something real quick since you brought up that wedding that is just right in the midst of fantasy time. The Fantasy Millionaires will be on a hiatus as we travel to the other side of the country, so we will not be on next Monday, and so we will see you in 2 weeks at a new show time, which will be what we always do when tis the season. We will begin our shows at 9:30, so we'll see you halftime Monday Night Football. Yeah,
I can think of worse things to be in the midst of, because that means that we've just had a full 13 game Sunday slate as well, which means I'm probably a millionaire. So the millionaires will be in 2 weeks from now, probably real millionaires talking to you. So yeah, man, I'm so excited. I cannot believe that the real NFL is here. You know what I mean? Like, it is here right now.
This is our last show. This is our last draft show. We're doing rounds 12 through 14 tonight. We're going to try and run through, give you the yay or nay on ADP, or neutral if we're neutral.
Or neutral.
And then the Fantasy Millionaires will be releasing our draft guide in the next few days. And then we say sayonara, and we will catch you and begin discussing what the regular season looks like, the landscape of actual football.
Yeah. And just so you know, if you're new to our show, thank you for checking us out. We appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, please set the alert so you know when the Fantasy Millionaires go live. Most of the time it's going to be at 9:30 time, but you never know. You know, we might be a little late, like today, having some computer issues, had to reboot, had to reset, now we're ready to roll. Our format for our show, if you're not familiar with it, is we're not going to be talking about drafting anymore. We go through seasons of what the show content looks like. The next season is going to really talk to you about how do you win your league now. Okay, so you made your draft picks. You have your team. Some are good, some are bad. How are you going to manage your roster? How are you going to elevate your players from the bench? How are you going to mitigate your starters who are underperforming? How you're going to eviscerate the total pieces of garbage on your bench that are ruining your team, right? And we'll talk about it every week, where you should kind of start them. Also, we'll do the waiver wire, the wire, we call it over here. We're going to be picking up players that we think are going to be helping your team win. And then we're going to also be talking about DFS plays, kind of mixing them in to our elevate, mitigate, eviscerate. So we've got a whole stanchion of delicious fantasy content for you. It's not just going to be who do you pick and where's the pick going to come. We'll be talking Run the Sims. We'll be talking, Underdog. We'll be talking Occupy Fantasy, a bunch of the nerdy stuff. The real nimble with number stuff. The real reason why we're here, folks, is to win that cash, to win that big time money. So, I am so excited. I cannot wait. This is going to be a season to remember for all of us. I will say one thing as we transition. I searched for an NFL fan fight this week, and damn it, guys, you didn't fight a lot this week. I could not find one. I'm sure there's one buried in the internet. If you have it, you send it my way. Of course, I'd love to see it. But kudos, a tip of the hat. You didn't drink as much last weekend. Just like the starters were kind of not playing their best, fans not really giving their all, which is important. Thank you for not being drunks. I'm sure our fan fight of the week will have plenty of submissions as the real regular season kicks off in 2 weeks. Yeah, so stick around. We're just starting this. It's not going anywhere. Preseason, I mean, you got some really good fights for preseason. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you've had 2 women who started 2 fights that got their man his ass beat, or at least somebody.
Yeah, that's right. It was both ladies that started it, because the other one was just jaw jacking until she threw the cup at the dude.
And so that was somebody's lady got some other guy's ass beat, And then in the second video, homegirl got her man's ass beat.
And she got a little beat down.
She got a little beat down too, which was a wild video. Listen, if you're standing in front of somebody, guess what? You don't scream at them, sit down. That's not going to work. I'm sorry. I mean, this is not elementary school. You got to use like, hey, excuse me, sir. My child can't see or whatever it is. You don't start screaming at people and getting in fights. So
yeah. Tune in week 1 for fan fight of the week, because that will be coming up. I'm sure it'll be some good ones.
Yeah, sponsored by.
We'll be able to choose. We'll choose our favorite by that point.
Yes, and guess what? It is going to be sponsored by Daniel Tosh. I know, crazy. Tosh.0 is going to be sponsoring the fan fight of the week. Just nailed it down today. So I can't wait for that. Let's talk a little fantasy football here. That's what we're really here to do. We're talking rankings. Right. Round 12 is where we leave ourselves. And you know what? Interestingly enough, I'm not a guy who likes Sony Michelle. I'm just going to say that. Not a big Sony Michelle fan, but
that is where we are starting at.
That's where we're starting. My man Sony Michelle traded though this past week, and so I didn't like him as a Patriot because he's in a quagmire of a backfield that is run by a madman in Bill Belichick. But now we have a little bit more of a sane madman in Sean McVay, a two-headed monster, I presume, in Henderson and then Sony Michelle. And man, Sony Michelle is a monster. What do you think about Sony Michelle now in his new situation? Are we chasing the volume, or is he still the same rusty, just not a good running back that we've seen in the last couple of years?
The fantasy millionaires do not see eye to eye whatsoever on Sony Michelle. I am big ups, big thumbs up. I'm going to put a thumb up for my partner. That's how strongly. Take his thumb down and average it into my 2 thumbs up, because I think this is my favorite person to snag in all of these rounds. I honestly think his value is extremely high. You saw. Okay, so pre-Cam Akers, they were doing a 2-back system. It was Darrell Henderson, Malcolm Brown, and Malcolm Brown was the goal line guy. Sony Michelle's the power back. Sony Michelle has been signed to a 1-year contract. He has all the incentive in the world to just destroy himself for this team. I think there will be a slow progression. I think he takes over, and the backfield becomes his backfield by the middle of the season. So I think, I think
league winner here is what you're saying. So Michelle, round 12 league winner is what I'm hearing.
I think if you have Darrell Henderson, you should 100% draft Sony Michelle. And I mean, Darrell Henderson's already dealing with a thumb injury. I don't know the severity of it, but that is why they went out and said, we're going to do a 6-round draft pick for someone that has a 1-year contract. And we're going to make sure that our team makes it back to the playoffs. And that's how much Sean McVay believes in his talent. So I honestly think Sony Michelle is, we'll see if there's anybody else that comes up during the show that I like more than him. He's my favorite person right now in rounds 12 through 14.
I love it. And I love that Bo is throwing some shade your way. Bo, he's throwing it.
We'll see.
He doesn't.
We will see.
I'm not gonna lie. Personally, I'm heavily invested in this being wrong, because I drafted Darrell Henderson in the 6th round as my RB2. And so I don't want this to be true. And if this is a harbinger of doom that you're bringing to me right now before the season has started, curse you, sir. Curse you and your stable of wide receivers. I hope all of the fumbles and tip balls and interceptions happen to you and nobody else but you.
I just want to say this for anybody who has Darrell Henderson in the league I just drafted in, the team I hate. I hated it because I drafted Darrell Henderson. I made sure I got Sony Michelle, is all I'm saying. So I think people are
sleeping
way too high on Darrell Henderson now that Sony Michelle is in the fold.
Well, you know what? You're making me. I'm gonna have to leave the show to go set my pickup in the BFFs real quick. So you
Yeah,
can.
I think he might still be available in there. Like I would get him 100%. I would get him if I was.
I know you, mother chucker. All right. Well, that's a lot of talk on Sony Michelle. This is the most Sony Michelle talk you're going to get all season long from everybody in the fantasy football community.
See.
We bring you the Sony Michelle heat here on the Fantasy Millionaires. You can't handle that heat. So speaking of heat, a lot hotter and a lot tastier than Sony Michelle. Never would go down after the first hit. My favorite hot box hot sauce from the small batch gourmet hot sauce over there at the Big Time Flavor Co. Right? BigTimeFlavor.co. There you go. BigTimeFlavor.co. Get yourself some hot box. This is the hottest thing around. I love it myself. All right, so let's move on. Sony Michelle, we've talked about him. Matt Ryan.
I think we did Matt Ryan last episode. I think
he
switched around, so we're just gonna skip right past that, dude.
Trey Lance Pants, not starting.
Oh no, we got Justin Fields first. Now this is an interesting.
Oh, I love Justin Fields. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear what my co-host thinks. Are you yay? Are you nay? Or are you neutral in a 12th round snag for Justin Fields?
I'm all in on this. I think it's a great pick. I think he has the potential to, in the back half of the season, really come through. The back half of the year always is a scramble drill. Players are hurt. Things are happening. Changes are afoot. We're a week-to-week league in the NFL. The Bears are going to sacrifice Andy Dalton to Aaron Donald and the Rams defense week 1, which is silly because they actually probably had a chance to beat them because Aaron Donald's a beast. But guess what? He's not faster than Justin Fields. If Justin Fields in the pocket is moving and Justin Fields is on the edge, Aaron Donald's not going to chase him down. So you get away from Aaron Donald and that whole Rams D by moving the pocket, and you do that best by having Justin Fields on the field. So to me, it just shows you like Matt Nagy does like Justin Fields. He keeps saying stuff like, "This is my girlfriend." Speaking of Andy Dalton, this is my girlfriend today. This is my girlfriend right now, everybody, right now. But
wait, what do you mean? Wait.
Matt Nagy has gone out of his way to declare that Andy Dalton is the starter.
Okay. He didn't actually say that.
No, but he did. He keeps being like, this is my guy, Andy Dalton, for week 1.
Yeah.
This is week 1. He lets everyone know it's for week 1. He's not saying for the season. He's just like, yeah, week 1. We're talking week 1, right? So I just think he does like him a lot. I want him out there all the time, every time. I know he's not going to be, so draft him, hold him, and then play him at the end of the season, last half season. I think he could win you the league. That's my favorite guy in this section, better than Sony Michelle. So.
Okay. Here's my thought. I'm as a 12th round pick, I'm slightly yay. So I'm past neutral on it. I do think for whatever reason, I was listening to I forget which game it was. It was like the last preseason game the other night. Drew Brees was in the broadcast booth and he just seemed to have the same mentality as Nagy. And I think it's just the football. It's the current milieu of football. Give your rookie a little bit of time. I think that is the plan. And I think he could sit, 3 or 4 games. But I think it's a Justin Herbert type situation. I do think he's the truth. I think when he gets on the field, they're never going to look back. It's going to be his offense. How that happens or why that happens, I don't know. I don't understand why they're doing this with Andy Dalton. So, a 12th round, the only reason why I'm not like neutral is just because I think he does have the talent to if you have him as a QB2, you might be sitting on a gold mine. So
yeah, no, I'm a big fan. All right, jumping down, Trey Lance, another rookie QB. People were talking Jimmy Garoppolo's demise early on. Doesn't look that way. I mean, they're playing every other play. which I love, and we'll get back to it. My tweet is going to be relative to that one. That's what my tweet is. So for the 3 tweets later, it is indicative of a Trey Lance, Justin Garoppolo switch swap. They went back and forth in the drives. Did you see that over the weekend? They were switching every other play, every couple plays. So what do you think about Trey Lance this year? Is he a buy and hold, or is he a pickup off the waiver wire later guy?
I think he's a pickup off the waiver wire later guy. I'm surprised that this is his ADP. I haven't seen him drafted anywhere in any league. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. So this is like surprising to see his ADP so high. I'm just gonna go thumbs down because I'm just not used to seeing his ADP here in the 12th round. I haven't seen him go anywhere. Nothing I'm seeing is putting him at this place. At the same time, I think I'm a big fan of all the first round quarterbacks. I think he's the truth as well. And I think what's cool, he might get on the field before Justin Fields because the 49ers are such a weird team. I could see them running weird plays just to get him out there where they just start doing like old school QB sweeps and stuff just to get him on the field.
Well, you'd think that. And then they ran, I don't understand Kyle Shanahan at all. They ran a QB option with Jimmy G. So, I mean, like, it's the preseason, bro. What are you doing? You know, you're going to run Jimmy G on the keeper in preseason?
Maybe he wants to get him injured.
That's the best possible. Yeah. Hey, Jimmy G, go deep on this one. Deep. Just keep going deep. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Okay. We're going to jump down. Somebody who
sees the field first, Trey Lance or Justin Fields?
Justin Fields. That's right. Justin Fields. I'd say, but I mean by that is not one play someone gets hurt, but like this is the guy who's going to play the game. You know what I mean? Next situation we have here is one of our favorite, Marquis Callaway. I drafted Marquis Callaway in the BFFs. He's like my 9th wide receiver. So, I like him a lot to not draft, other tight ends and running backs and stuff. What do you think about Marquis Callaway this year? Are you waiting for a trade? You want Brandon Cooks to be traded? I saw someone say that today. The Texan says everyone's up for trade. And then someone said, please trade Brandon Cooks back to the Saints. Which would be good for Marquis Callaway. But what do you think without that happening? Just how it is now, Marquis Callaway, yay or nay?
I'm neutral, man. This is your boy. I think Traquan Smith and Marquis Callaway are flip a coin. They'll just kind of volley each week. I don't have strong feelings on either one. They're both wide receivers too, battling it out for wide receiver 1. I don't know who's the more talented person.
Yeah, my man Bowman Big Time is all over Callaway, has been from the drop of the Michael Thomas news. He said that's the guy to have. As he wrote the ADP, maybe he jumped off now because it's kind of getting high in best ball, but he's been all over it. So I do want to shout out my man Bowman Big Time. I'm a Callaway guy too. I am, because I'm a Jameis truther. Not going to lie to you, he might be in the Fantasy Millionaires rankings in the top release that we're going to do in the next couple of days. He might be in there. He might be in my top 20 QBs, Jameis Winston, because guy's got a cannon for an arm and a brain that says, do it. Like that guy has not met a throw he doesn't like, so even though Sean Payton's in his ear going, don't do it, Alvin Kamara, That's
what I like about him too. I like that he's paired up with one of the greatest coaches to ever coach. Sean Payton is
steal. He's a late round steal. He's available in our league, so don't draft him. He's just on the waiver wire. If I need to get another QB, I might get a little Jameis, in 2021, a good year, I think. So I'm into that Marquis Callaway. I think he'll be ups and downs. I think he's got a solid floor of 12 points a game, but he could have those 25 points. You saw him in preseason already get 2 touchdowns on those long throws, man. Jameis ain't afraid to throw the ball deep. Yeah, he's not afraid at all. It's what you want your quarterback to be. So I'm all in there. Next up, another guy who I'm all in on. I drafted him.
I think we already did J.D. McKissick last show. So
he jumped. He got lowered.
Yeah, he got lowered.
I'm still in on him. We don't do defenses, and kickers, sorry, Danny Carter, are for losers. So what are we doing here with our guy, Philip Lindsay? New team, terrible team. Are you investing in Philip Lindsay in any teams that you've got so far?
My goal, and I have accomplished this goal thus far, is to have 0 shares of the Texans. I want no part.
Me too.
Nothing to do with them. I hate Philip Lindsay.
You're boycotting. You're canceling Houston player. You canceled them.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. You just straight up you're done, Houston. You're done.
You're done.
Yeah. Well, what about somebody who we thought was done a couple years ago? Back end of this 12th round here, kind of one of the later picks. Devante Parker. What do you think about him? Value or just not going to get enough volume?
He's the wide receiver 3. So I mean, Fuller's out. What, one game with the suspension?
One game. In New England.
Yeah. He's a wide receiver 3.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I'm neutral. That's, I guess, I don't dislike him. Like, right. I'm not. It's not thumbs down. I'm just neutral.
An injury in any of these circumstances, somebody like Devante Parker, they immediately gain value as a wide receiver too. And with any of these players, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're kind of in this range. So speaking of players who should maybe be even lower, Evan Ingram. What do you think about this guy? Tight end on the board here. He's tight end 16, which is not terrible, but last year being drafted in the top 12. What do you think about this year? 16, okay for him or no?
Yeah, I'm neutral. I don't hate him like you do. So I think
I drafted him in crab cake, so I don't hate him that much.
You drafted him, yeah, okay. I mean,
that was like this is the 12th round though, so I would not touch the 12th round.
Let me promote my man Evan Ingram. I'm pretty sure he runs a 4.4, so he's slightly slower than everyone's darling Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm. He's got hands of stone, though. I mean, that's one of the problems.
No, it is
old stone hands Ingram.
Stone. I mean, it's his quarterback too.
Yeah. Hey, newsflash: Daniel Jones sucks.
Daniel Jones sucks.
Hate to break
newsflash.
Giants.
Evan Ingram. Here, look. Let me finish my promotion here. Okay. Everyone got excited about him. His first year, he had 64 receptions, 722 receiving yards for a tight end, and 6 TDs. Okay. He has gotten worse every single year. Last year, he does have 650 yards, 63 receptions, but 1 TD. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Saquon's back. It's going to be a different offense. I don't think he's going to have only 1 TD. So I'm neutral. I mean, hopefully he's not your tight end 1.
That's a bad tight end.
But if you have like a low grade tight end 1, I think he's a fine fill-in for a tight end 2.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But Bo's just having the show. I love it, Bo. Bo always crushes in the comments. By the way, he's the comment king. Bo the comment king. That's what we'll call him. Yeah, he's the man. We love Bo. Love Brad. By the way, we have to do a draft for this league. We got to get that going too before next week. I'll be on that one. By the way, school started for me today. I love my kids. Every single one. Great kids. Great group of kids. Nothing to complain about. I will say my one complaint, having to fill out individual, 20 different Google forms just to let the office know what bus they rode. I mean, that was just like, hey, you want to spend 15 minutes wasting your time with something that you used to be able to do in 7 seconds? You know what I mean?
I didn't even hear you talking right now. You sounded like Charlie Brown teacher.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
Exactly. Waste of time. So, but we got it done. That was the hardest thing we had to get done today. Kids are great. Love them. Speaking of the kids, don't bring your kids around Cole Beasley because that guy doesn't wear masks.
Keep your children away from Cole Beasley. Public service announcement.
Right. Everybody stay away from Cole Beasley. I think he wants it that way. I think he's even expressed that, which is, honestly, I respect that in a person who just says, hey, I just kind of want to be left alone and live my own life and do my own thing. I love it. The problem is that people used to go in the woods and write like, Walden and stuff. Now people are like, but I want to participate in team activities and have nobody judge me. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't think you understand what individualism means in a society where you're part of a team. Like, dude, I'm an individual too, man. There's things I'm not going to do. And I respect Cole Beasley's, just fortitude. But there's a lot of stupiditude in there too, man.
There's no I in team, Cole. Come on, man.
Right.
Pay attention.
Yeah, there's an I in Bills. So, this guy's he's got
what exactly happens with him? It's just here's the thing. Cole Beasley
not allowed in meetings. He has to remotely join meetings because he can't poison the team, basically, is what they're trying to say. And not just him, but anybody who's not had the vaccine. You're not allowed to be. So, I mean, even the quarterbacks of just like if you're not a quarterback who's vaccinated, you have to Zoom remote into the meetings.
See, here's what's interesting though. I'm not yay on him, but here's the thing. He's not going to get the vaccine, so thus his ADP.
I'm out. I'm out.
You're out. Your thumbs down. He's gonna play football. So I mean,
and he won't. And he'll be a close contact, and he'll, whatever, he'll not wear a mask, and he'll get.
How many games does Cole Beasley play?
10. Plays 10.
He plays 10. Okay, and that's why I think I'm kind of just neutral on his ADP because he gets 6 receptions every game. So, I mean, he's kind of he's almost like a Will Fuller pick, where, it's whatever.
I'd much rather have Russell Gage.
I would much rather have Russell Gage.
I'd rather have
too.
And then
100%.
Same with Elijah Moore. I'd pick Elijah Moore over him every time too. So, 2 players in that range. It depends on where you're drafting. I got Elijah Moore in the BFFs, by the way, in the 14th round, not the 13th, by the way. I went back and checked. So,
you got him late.
I did. And you know what? Because Corey Davis is the wide receiver 1 there. And Elijah Moore will have games where he's the wide receiver 1. But I love him for DFS. You put him in week 1, he's the min. He's min. You got a min price wide receiver 3,000. So we'll talk more about that when we get back into the show in 2 weeks, because then it'll be real deal, going on. So, but anyway, I'm into both these guys next. Thumbs up for me on Gage. Thumbs up for me on Elijah Moore. What about you and these guys? You like them?
Thumbs up for me on Gage. Elijah Moore, that's your boy. And so I'm not going to act like you're the person.
13th round. So, I mean, would you spend?
No, we're in the, where are we at now? Are we're in the 13th now? Okay. It's the 13th round. Again, I'm neutral just because I'm just kind of waiting to see. I'll give it slight thumbs up because of Zach Wilson. Because I do think he is such a legit. He looks like he's going to be legit, dude. Yeah. So, I'll say slight thumbs up. That's your guy, and I'm betting you're making a really good call on him. I just want to see him a little bit more. So.
Yeah. I mean, but listen, he's not just my guy. He's my guy. He's Matt Harmon's guy. He's Denny's guy. But and this is the thing about why he's the guy. It's because he's got 4 speed, 4.3.5 speed, whatever, 4.35. He's a speed merchant, man. This guy has got it in droves. And so you put him in the slot and you have him run up against some of these slot corners. You get some nice little edge matchups too against some of these, PFF poor rated corners. Man, this guy gets that ball out there by Zach Wilson. He could go, man. I don't know if you can overthrow this guy. We're going to see. Zach Wilson's going to do one of those things Michael Vick used to try to do when he tried to overthrow Deshaun Jackson. We're going to get to see it. We're going to get to see him trying to overthrow Elijah Moore, man. Those 70-yard bombs. I can't wait. It's just going to be about roster management. That's going to be when you play him, when those matchups come. And that's when you get in the deep dive. I stick around for the regular season. That's what we'll do in those segments. So I do like Elijah Moore. It's okay you didn't get him. 14th round, I think it's a steal, personally. So
I almost did. I took McCole Hardman over him. So
yeah, that's a bad pick. But anyway, next up, Hunter Henry. Yeah, we'll see. We'll do $1,000 bet right now that Elijah Moore outscores McCole Hardman. I'll do that on the air right now. We can do that.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, in the book.
I already got you on Irv Smith, so that's
that's an injury. That sucks.
I'm playing with your money now.
Yeah, well, I beat you last year, so I can come back. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so next up, talking about getting money. Hunter Henry got paid right after Jonnu Smith got paid. What do you think about Hunter Henry? He's been banged up in training camp, hasn't seen the field. Where are you going with the HH?
Thumbs down.
Not good. We don't like. Yeah, I'm out. Bye.
Yeah,
next.
Thumbs down. Don't want him. I'm not going in the 12th round on that dude. No way.
No, thank you. No, thank you. All right. So next, after that, we'll go down to our guy Kirk. Not bad.
Another one of your favorite COVID guys, Captain COVID Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, if I get it, I'll get
COVID 12 times already. He's had
like
14
that?
different variants.
Right. Yeah. You like that? Yeah, you do. Kirk, my favorite was that the GM used to call him, and this was our guy Bruce Allen would call him Kurt Cousins.
I don't know why. I always want to call him that too.
Because it's in your brain, because people have messed it up, like the general manager of the Washington football team, who would say it all the time. He would always be like, "Yeah, we really love Kirk Cousins here over here at Redskins Park. We just love Kurt with the T Cousins." And then Kirk would come out and be like, "It's Kirk, it's Kirk." So that's probably why. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk, I might play the season Cousins. I think I'm in on Kirk Cousins just for his upside. He helped me win the 5Gs. So I can't throw shade at Kirk Cousins. He does big time wide receivers in Thielen, and then even more so in Jefferson. Now they both get a bump with Irv Smith going down. I like that for them. And then Conklin as a tight end gets a little bit of a bump, but I think it's just more targets. Dalvin Cook gets a bump as well. So just at least for the first couple weeks of the season.
He's my favorite QB2.
Yeah.
I've been drafting him as my QB2 in every league so far. If I draft a QB2, if it's a 12-man league and QBs run and it gets tight, and if your QB goes down, I think 2 QB for the Pandy system. Yeah. I think Kirk Cousins is a nice bench player just to sit there.
Captain COVID Kirk Cousins. Say that 6 times fast. That's your guy. I'm not against it. I think you get what you get out of him, and if he goes on the COVID list, you put him on your bench and you elevate him when you need to, and he gets the juicy matchup. So just
hopefully you can wait till round 13, but if there's a run and they're already going into 2, I'd get him first.
Yeah, nab him. You know what I mean? And speaking of Alexander Madison, I don't handcuff. That's enough for me.
Me neither. I don't handcuff either. So there's nothing to say. I'm out on that. He's the best handcuff in the league. I mean,
if you're cuffing, if you're edging,
that's all he is. Like Tony Pollard's going to see the field.
Right? Love Tony.
Alexander Madison is not, unless there's an injury.
Yes. Yeah. I like that. Next up, we got a couple QBs here. We got Tua Tagovailoa, and then we've got Ben slim down Roethlisberger, but still, I'm not going to bring up alleged charges. I'm just going to say still not beloved by all. Yeah. What do you think about these guys? Who do you want out of these two if you're in the situation where Kirk is gone off the board? Are you getting either of them, or are you just, praying that you can get Carr or somebody else?
I'm surprised to see Ben Roethlisberger's ADP so high.
He's rising. I mean, he's got 3 wide receivers who are being drafted.
I like him. I here's the thing.
He's a sneaky
this is why I haven't drafted him as a QB2. It's kind of like if you have Tom Brady and then Ben Roethlisberger, or some other old dude, that is your QB. I don't particularly like him as a QB2. I can see him not having a complete season, but I bet you he has some really nice games. I think I'm more intrigued by Tua. How do you say it? You say it Tagovailoa. I think it's
Tagovailoa.
For some, I always hear people say Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa, is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tagovailoa. I'm more intrigued with him. I think we'll know whether he's Daniel Jones this year or not. I don't think he is. I think he takes a big leap forward. Not he's I don't think he's Kyler Murray, but I think he is going to have some really nice games this season. He's got a nice fold of wide receivers. Devante Parker is the 3, and he can just air it out to Will Fuller all day. So I like him more than Roethlisberger, just because of Roethlisberger's age.
Yeah. You never know when Big Ben's gonna break down.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it happens. And they're trying out Dwayne Haskins. I mean, that's just terrible.
Dwayne Haskins has looked nice in the preseason.
Terrible. That guy's decision making is not great in the moments. I put him in live bullets, see what happens. I'll fade. I'm
all about. I think coaches cure things. Okay. I could see him getting with Tomlin and actually having an NFL career as a starting quarterback after Ben.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm fading him. All right, next up, we got a little Latavius Murray, one of the old heads in the league. I think he's 69 years old. Shout out Denny Carter. What do you think about Latavius?
Yeah, he's 31 years old.
Yeah, dude. I know. I thought about that. I was like, he's over 30. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's crazy, man, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't drafted him anywhere, so thumbs down for me here in the 12th.
Yeah, me too. No shares, none at all. Yeah, and no offense, I do like the next guy a little bit, James White. With Sony Michelle gone, it's just not that he did anything with the passing game, but it just shows you like they've just got their guys. This is what they do. He's in his role. It's not like he's gonna get any more touches because of that, but like he's secure. They didn't trade him and get rid of him, so I like that. I think James White is somebody I'm going to be targeting here in the later rounds. He's a thumbs up for you? Yes, sir. He's I guess you've swayed me to a slight thumb up. Just he is getting older as well. Is he 29? 29. But his age, you got to. It's like you got to know like your kid's age, Yes. But here's the thing. He's 29 with Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick doesn't care about that. He only cares about people who know the system and know it fluently. Right. He knows it fluently. He's got to be one of his favorite players on the team. So, slight thumb up for me. Yeah, I just don't think he's not going to be sexy. No, he's not sexy, but I mean, I think he gets the job done in PPR. So, he was at a down year last year, but I think he gets 75 targets this year. Gets you 60 receptions. Gets you some good points. Probably get you 150 points. You can take it. So, all right. Next up, teammate Jacoby Myers. I do believe my man Matt Harmon did a reception perception on this. People were clamoring for it. He's got some sex and flex appeal over here, but the quarterback situation, needs to be non-binary or something. It needs to be fluid. What do you think about Jacoby Myers here? Are you thinking there's upside? You stash him. He's got talent. We saw he could do last year. We do think, at least I do, he's got potential, but I'm more concerned about who's going to throw him the football. You know what's crazy? He's still available in the BFFs. So the 12th round is pretty high. It just depends on your needs. I kind of like it. I honestly think that their QB situation is the best QB situation in the league. I mean, I think they're both really good. I think Cam Newton is going to be really good, and I think Mac Jones is phenomenal. I mean, what you've been seeing in preseason, I don't know, man. I don't think it matters. I think they're both going to be good. And I think the moment Cam doesn't play well, which I don't know if it's going to happen. Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to be good again. I think the Patriots are going to make the playoffs. I think they are going to be a good team. Yep, I do. And I don't think it matters who's throwing the ball. You have Nelson Aguilar, so to me, he's not like a good. He's not a good. They don't have good wide receivers. He's not a great wide receiver. He's a wide receiver too. So I don't know. I mean, my position on him is like I'm not. I guess I'm gonna say it's too high. But if you're weak, if you're thin, I think it's a good option. So,
yeah. Well, last year he had games, and then he had games he didn't do anything. And that's how Bill Belichick operates. This is the thing about Bill Belichick. He doesn't give a shit about your fantasy football team. So that's just how it works. So just keep that in mind. Next up, somebody who doesn't give a shit about your fantasy football team, Zach Ertz, still in Philadelphia. Are you buying the new Blondie, or are you dipping out on Zach Ertz? It's a really late round value. You're getting like a tight end 2 or a wide receiver 4 in that offense. I'm not sure how you're going to gauge it.
Yeah, I think Dallas Goedert is now the better tight end. Zach Ertz just fell off a cliff last year. So
Jason Witten disease caught him.
Yeah. I did not see that just cliff dive of a season.
Right. I didn't either.
Yeah. So I mean, I do think that he actually has shown in the preseason some good rapport with Hurts. So I'm thinking, for me, I have Dallas Goedert in at least one share. I was very tempted to draft him as a late round snag, 13th, 14th, right before I get to my defense and kicker. So yeah, I mean, you could take a flyer on him, it's definitely not sexy, but if you have Goddard, it's intriguing.
Yeah, for me, it's a big no. Jared Cook, somebody who's intriguing just for his red zone upside. If you don't get a touchdown out of Jared Cook, you're getting nothing. And that's it. That's what you're going to get.
Right.
And that's how it's going to go. So chasing touchdowns with Jared Cook, not something I prefer to do myself. How about you? You like playing that game?
I mean, are we in the 14th round now? So again,
yeah we're in there.
I like Jared Cook better than I like Zach Ertz.
Me too. So. Either oring it, I'm all over Jared Cook because I think the offense is going to be more ebullient, as they say. Look it up, kids. It will make your vocabulary a little bit more ebullient.
It will.
Yeah, it will. So that's like a circular thing. I want to do that. Speaking of circular, T.Y. Hilton. I don't know why I said that, but T.Y. Hilton.
We can skip him.
Yeah.
he my neck, my back, and my back. Oh, I'm hurt.
I'm dying, man. Yeah, you can skip him. If you're drafting T.Y. Hilton, man, what is it, 2020? I mean, come on. Get out of here.
He's got like herniated discs. I mean, if you wanted to slap somebody right on your IR, if you have that option, then there's your guy.
You're an IR grabber. I know. Actually, I have seen that as a strategy. Like people who are like, listen, I'm drafting a bunch of guys, put them on my IR, and then I'll pick them other guys up. You're like, okay,
yeah,
I get it. I'm out too. What about Jameis for you? I said I love Jameis. I think he's a great sleeper. I would pick him way before this. So, what do you think about Jameis here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm you're influencing me on your Jameis love. I'm very intrigued by Jameis Winston. I would like to have Kirk Cousins as my QB2. But as a QB2, it's definitely an intriguing pick for sure.
Oh yeah, QB2 all day long. Yeah, but a huge upside QB2 matchup. I think you could really like the Jags matchup. By the way, I'm very excited to be working with Prize Picks. I'm still getting all of my different sponsorships together, and so Prize Picks, one of my favorite hashtag or not hashtag, but code Nimble over at Prize Picks. You can check out the work they do. I love it. We did some preseason stuff for the Mayo Media Network. Looking at Prize Picks last week, I called Jameis Winston and his over. I also said use him for DraftKings, even though the preseason DraftKings is crazy. It's just wild. But Jameis delivered 2 touchdowns to Marquis Callaway. Also called him on Prize Picks. So there's money to be made, folks, in the Prize Pick streets, in the DraftKings streets. And I think the Saints are kind of undervalued. Ian Hartitz came on the Fantasy Football Hot Stove in April, I believe, or March. Came in March. And he talked about how the Saints variancy with the quarterback position is going to create value because people don't know. It depresses it. If you knew Jameis Winston was going to be QB1 from the start, he was going to be there the whole time. His value would it'd be up. So I like that. I like the thinking that Ian kind of planted in my head.
I like it too.
Yeah, he's been on a bunch of my best ball teams. I think he's like my 5th most rostered quarterback or 6th. It's not one of my favorites, but you get him in the last couple rounds, because nobody knows, and it's just a great value. It
makes a ton of sense. It really makes a ton of sense. And I think Vegas has him at like 10 wins or something like that. Like they're projected to do really well. And Jameis looks like he's going to be the guy for the entire season on a really good football team. And again, he has Sean Payton kind of whispering in his ear. I like it. So I'm with you.
Cool. I love it. All right. We'll go quick last couple guys, and we'll get to 3 tweets. Next up, Bo thinks he's going to take over the backfield by the end of the season. I've drafted him a little bit like he might as well in best ball. Kenneth Gainwell III Esquire.
Me and Bo agree. Finally.
Yeah. We're your Bo thumbs up.
Oh yeah. Why are you drafting Boston Scott?
Kenny Carter. I know. Shout out.
Yeah. Draft this guy.
Instead. Yeah. I'm not drafting Austin Hooper in these later rounds. I'd rather have Fursker because of the potential. I mean, even though he was getting drafted huge before Julio Jones was traded, because they're like, who else are going to throw the ball to in the red zone? But I mean, he's still going to get some catches. You got Julio Jones and then AJ Brown and then King Henry. So there's going to be a tight end on the field. He'll be on the field a lot. So I like him better than Hooper. So I'm out on Hooper. What do you think here before we jump to the last pick, Mr. Bernardo?
He's just neutral for me. I don't have strong feelings. Like
have you drafted him in any management material?
I have not drafted him as my tight end 2 in any league.
No. Okay, out. All right. Last but not least,
Gio. I'll say. Wait. Since this is our last draft show,
yes,
I want to bring up my favorite tight end 2 that everyone's sleeping on. That you can always get. No one will draft him.
No one.
You can draft him in the 14th round with the last pick of the 14th round and draft your defense and draft your kicker. It's Blake Jarwin.
Ooh, it's true. I love Blake Jarwin.
I like Blake Jarwin as my tight end too.
I love that.
He's off the radar. It's the injury thing. So people everyone's forgotten about him.
Oh, man, I've got him on best ball, and I've got him on Scottish. I'm not forgetting about Blake Jarwin, but you reminded me, so I did forget a little bit about Blake Jarwin. No, that's a great pick. What about our man? We saw Mike Davis's quad picture came out, shook the internet, and then Giovanni Bernard was like, "You just thought I was a mild mustached man." But no, I have quads for days. His quads came out. Those were scary as shit. They had veins in them that look like they've been around since the beginning of time. What do you think about Giovanni kind of being what I said he was going to be, that little third down scat back, kind of take over the offense in the 2-minute drill? What do you think about him in this late round?
If he has the mustache, he doesn't amount.
Mustache dependent.
Yeah.
I like that. That's great. That's perfect. That's excellent. Well, this wraps up. Like Mike said, we're going to be coming back. And when we do come back, we'll be starting talking about who you're going to be playing, when you're going to be playing them, all those good things. So we do appreciate you guys being here during the off season. You're the best. And we'll be starting information on the worldwide web as well when we are dropping. We do have a Patreon. Well, we'll share that later, but we're dropping our rankings on the World Wide Web over at nimblewnumbers.com, and we have to link up our Patreon. You have to join our Patreon. I know it's like $3 a month or something, but it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. There's a bunch of different levels too, but the cheapest one's like $3 a month, which I mean, honestly, that's like, you're getting access to me and Mike, our inner thoughts. We're going to tell you like what our favorite colors are. It's gonna be good. We're really excited about it. No, actually, there's
some special. You can hear Beach Week stories.
Yeah, Beach Week stories with Mike and Jesse, or Scott, whatever. But this is the transition to Trace Tweets, brought to you by Run the Sims. Go to Run the Sims /Nimble for all your DFS betting and fantasy football needs. Go over there. They've got it all. I love it. Who to start, who to sit, who the simulations have. And you can run the Sims. You can run the Sims and done 10,000 simulations in like a 30 seconds. It's crazy. I love running the Sims. It just makes you feel good. You got numbers crunching. I'm a numbers guy. Nimble W Numbers loves the Sims. So check that out. Let's jump over, if I can navigate my page here. Producing is not always as easy as it looks on TV. So
but you do it effortlessly, my bro.
Well, thank you. I need to transition here and see if I can actually do it, because right now I have one on, but it's not the one I want on. So I have to like do some moving and shaking around to get the one I want in to this frame, and we'll see if I can do it. Okay, did it work? Did Ian Hardis's come on?
No, I don't see it.
No. Okay, hold on. I got it. All right,
okay,
Ian Hardis, come on now. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so this is a good video here. I'm going to stop it. This says Trey Lance and Jimmy G passing each other on the field as they substitute in and out. So enjoy. Here we go.
Yeah.
This looks like it's over in Europe.
I remember the first time I saw this, and I still don't know if this is a joke or real.
I know. It's so funny, though.
I think it's real.
I think it's real, too, man.
Yeah.
It's really European. So,
yeah.
And the quarterback.
I can see you doing this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could see you doing a middle finger fight with somebody. If there was like another you out there, you guys would just cross the street, go right near each other.
I think it would start the opposite, though. We would start far away and then come closer together. That's kind of how I would see it.
This would be like your favorite person to fight with. No violence.
No violence.
You could just do this.
In a fight, I've never hurt anybody in my life. I'm not a violent person at all. Yeah. I'm a hustler, a huff and puff guy. Just get the violence out of the way.
I'd like to see the three of you guys go at each other with middle fingers. I'd pay for that.
That'd be funny. Okay, all right. So this is it says.
Okay, so hold on. This says Urban Meyer. When someone asks him if he thinks Trevor Lawrence will be the starting QB by week 4. All right, now let's play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah. Turn it up. Play it again.
I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here.
I'm not gonna be here.
Didn't he have a heart attack already or something like that? What happened? I think he was. They were just saying that. I think that might have been Barry McCockiner. I'm not sure.
Our show got Barry McCockiner.
I think he did that in college, though. I think he had a heart attack one season or something like that.
You say that guy's name out, it looks like Barry McCorkiner. We're supposed to say Barry McCockiner.
Yeah, I'm so glad you corrected me. I've been saying Barry McCorkiner again, that guy I see everything quick and just gets into my head, even his stupid name. I even get his stupid name wrong.
Mute him. Mute Barry McCockiner. Get that guy. My favorite is when people fall for it and they tweet it out to everybody, and then you're like, oh man, that sucks.
You got McCorkinderd.
You got McCockiner for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. Who do you think wins 3 tweets? I think they're both really funny. I like them.
Yeah,
both.
they're both really funny. You can have it. I don't have a great third tweet. I have an okay one. Actually, I was going to do the one that you had up that you didn't like. I like that Jeff Greenwood one. Show that real quick. Yeah, I love that one.
It's my winning tweet.
Okay. So, well, then we share it because that was going to be my winning tweet too.
Look at that synergy on the show. I love Jeff Greenwood. I was on his show, Tackle Dummies. I love him. He's great. He's not a big deal. But
Jeff Greenwood for the win.
Yeah, and I did like it, but I'm gonna retweet that. I love him. He says, I highly recommend that you invest a minimum of 200 hours into fantasy football over the next 4 months so that you can win your $20 buy-in back.
I loved it.
That's me. That's third place. For us, though, it's not 20, it's 200. So I last year I won my money back. And then I also got some prizes for being the top scorer each week. So I won, a little bit of money there too. So I was in the black last year. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Being the black in fantasy is great. And DraftKings as well. And, Underdog, I'm going to be big time in the black. You only got 2 weeks left to best ball draft, folks. So please get over to Underdog, best ball draft your brains out. Get in the big dog, do it all up. Right now, if you get in the big dog, there's a big dog out there. There's somebody who's going to win a $60,000 chain from a rapper or something. It's crazy. But please do over there. Get in there and use promo code NIMBLE when you sign up for Underdog. And reach out to me and Mike. We got a couple weeks left. We're going to do, Mike, some not best ball, but we're going to do some DFS style weekly drafts over on Underdog. You can pick teams.
Oh, nice.
Leagues. We'll do a little 12-man league each week.
Nice.
And we'll, put up $10, $20, whatever it's going to be. Can't wait to compete over there on Underdog. It's getting hot, man. The games are getting hot. I cannot wait to play them all. And you know what? Best way to help you win them all is to Run the Sims. Also, you get Occupy Fantasy for your DFS. Both those are a few of my favorites. So I think that's it, Barry McCorkiner. Anything else you want to get off your chest here?
Most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's beautiful. And thank you to everybody who checked us out today and any day. Anytime you checked us out, we really appreciate it. I'm excited to be back at school. But do pray for me. I've got no windows in my classroom. It's a little dreary. I'm not gonna lie. I try to bring the joy, but also my Promethean board is broken. My lights burn out. I asked them today, hey, do you know when you're gonna get me that? They said, nah. So a little tricky to be able to teach and do all the things we have set up without your basically your chalkboard. You know what I mean? That's what we use the Promethean board for now, is just to write things and to interact and all that stuff. So, I'm doing my best, but I'm excited about fantasy football turning into real football in just a very short amount of time. So, anything else you want to say before we jump on out of here, my good man?
I say peace and I say love.
Peace and love. I can't get out better than that. Peace and love, everybody.